Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for attending Breakfast with the Chief on this brisk fall morning. So we were going to have Mark Blaze come in, who talked about ticks last year, but he couldn't make it. So at the very last minute, our friends from the Westborough Public Library stepped up and said, "We'll come in and put on a presentation for you." And the reason why is I really wanted them to come. I was at a program that they have that they'll explain about reading to some kids at the former Fountainhead. It's called Arrives now. It's a great program. And they do a lot of outreach that I don't know if you folks or the people at home that are watching this know about. So they're going to explain all that, and it's great services. And it's not just for constant. It could be, you have a surgery or something happens and they're able to help you and get you some reading materials or whatever. So I'll have them explain that to you. Briefly on the police department, it was a hectic September. We did move. There was a couple of moments there we thought we weren't, but the building inspectors worked with us in the fire department and we were able to move in. It was a lot of work. The station is not complete, so I don't have a date for our open house for the entire building, and then I'm going to do several dates, so we can have people come in, and I really want to showcase it. So right now we still don't have use of the cell area. We are booking prisoners there, but we can't house anyone there, so we're still using Southborough PD, and we don't have use of our garage, so they're still doing some work. I'm hoping in the next 2 or 3, 4 weeks things will really be settled. I can really clean the place up and really invite you folks in to look at it. It's an unbelievable facility, and you're going to be real delighted at what we're going to be able to provide in services because of the technology and the equipment that we purchased. It's an amazing facility. I was telling you in September that Caleb and Lucas, Officer Paulsino, our K-9 officer, and his partner, they did certify and graduate in September, so they're all providing those services, which is great. Narcotic detection. The Detective Bureau has been extremely busy. You'll probably be seeing some things on social media, press releases on some cases that they saw that were, kind of large scale in nature, involving several agencies. So I'm real proud of the staff. Things are going really well. It feels great to be back downtown, and hopefully I'll have you folks in very soon. So with that being said, I don't want to take up too much time. I'm going to basically turn it over to the Westborough Public Library. They can introduce themselves to you, and I think you're going to really enjoy this, and hopefully you'll be able to utilize some of these services.
I'm Lynn Sukup. I'm the Assistant Director at the Westborough Library. Maureen Ambrosino is the Director, and she was ill this morning, so I'm jumping in to fill in.
My name is Dan Barber. I'm the Circulation Supervisor, and I recognize so many of you. It's so great to see you all out here. And thank you, Chief, for letting us be here today.
Okay, so basically I wanted to give you a quick update. We have been trying to get a new library building. The one that we're currently in is in disrepair. There are a lot of things that aren't up to date with the Americans with Disabilities Act, and our elevator, our roof is leaking, and we basically don't have enough space for the population of our town. So we've grown a lot. So in 2018, we received a grant from the state, from the Mass Library Board for about half of the expense of our project. But they can only disperse that money a little bit at a time. So right now we're number 4 on the waiting list. And I can pass around a timeline. This is pretty much up to date. We're thinking we might have to add 1 more year, but we're hoping that by 2024 we'll be able to be in a new building. And as far as voting on the new building, we're hoping to bring that to town meeting by the fall of 2020 or perhaps 2021, depending on how the projects fall. So this is just an update on that. The other thing I wanted to talk about, we have a lot of things at the library. There are A lot of things coming up. Dan made a sheet for you to see. We have Gary Highlander, we have ongoing meditation series and book groups. I'm going to leave a copy of the books that our book group is going to be reading over the next months. In case you're interested, we would love to have you. They're all drop-in, so you can just see the book for a particular month. Like Circe is a book that's coming up in February, and just read it. You want to talk about it, come on in. We have one group that meets on Thursdays once a month and one that meets Monday evening. And I'll leave the list of the books and the dates so that they can be published here.
There's a family that has lived in Westborough that have the Barton family. And Eileen, excuse me, Brimley, the last name is, her daughter, Lauren, has written a book. And I don't know if it's available or not, but I think that would be nice
if you call our library, if you have her name, we can find that book. And we typically hold a lot of the Westborough authors at our library. And basically, any book that you're looking for, call us. We can find it for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. So now I'm going to turn it over to Dan, and he's going to talk about our outreach services and delivery that's available and some of the programs that we do.
All right. Well, yeah, one of my many tasks as the circulation supervisor is to coordinate our home delivery. Okay, I'll try. Sorry. One of the parts of the home delivery is bringing books around town to people who can't get to the physical space. Then the other aspect to that is bringing books to people who may have, as Chief mentioned, had a surgery or a temporary layup. So if you have a knee surgery and you just can't get out, or it's tough, or maybe you're babysitting and it's just too much of a production to bring the whole crew in. Parking can be a little tricky sometimes, so it'd be easier if you just had someone swing some books or movies. We even have a power washer, a metal detector. We could swing some strange things by. It's pretty cool. You just have to let us know. I put the schedule on here so you can kind of see how it works under the blue box. On Mondays, Carrie Brown, you may know Carrie Brown, she does the residence deliveries. So she will bring things right to your door if you live in Westborough. On Thursdays, I drive around town all day, and I stop at a lot of different places, including the Highlands, the Willows, Whitney Place, Whitney Suites, Beaumont, and then I end at the Arrive Apartments, which used to be called Fountainhead. That's where Chief Lourie joined us last week. It was so much fun. We have a guest reader for the kids. We're starting a guest reader program. He was the inaugural kickoff. It went so well we decided to extend that. So we're going to have other readers come in to the kids. I have a friend who is a realtor in this area, and she came to me about a year ago exactly and said, I know there's a lot of moms who do not have cars and cannot get to the library, and it's a shame because there's so many kids who could benefit from the materials and resources you have there. And she said, can you stop by there? And we weren't doing that at the time, but I loved the idea. So after a few calls, the people who worked at Fountainhead at the time said, we can try it, sure. And so I set up in their computer lounge there. We bring tons of books. And the first week I did it, we had one person come and they didn't want to check anything out. And I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't good. The week after, the word had spread and we had a line out the door by the time I showed there. Now, every week we go, we check out between 100 and 150 items, and we have about 50 people come through in the time that we're there in just a 2-hour block. And it's become such a great resource for them to be able to get things and for us to meet some people we wouldn't have met otherwise. That's one of the jobs that I see, that I am in charge of at the library as circ supervisor, is getting items to people who can't get to the building. So if you need or know someone who lives at that facility, or if you need them where you're at, make sure you call. We put the number right at the bottom, and we can set your account up. And by doing that, we just put a note on your account saying you'd prefer to have it delivered. And we can take that note off at any time. So if you know that, okay, it's going to be really busy December for me, I'm nervous to drive in the winter time, I'd rather have things brought to me during December, January, February, we can set your account up to do that. And then in March, if you feel better about the road situation, you call us, we'll take the note off, and you can pick up your holds at the library. You can request specific items, or you can choose from a floating collection. And I brought a little bit of our floating collection here today. All of these items are up for grabs, by the way. So if you want to take something today, these items are all here. We get, and some people used to have the misconception that the items we bring are the leftovers, the things people don't want at the regular building. I can guarantee you that is not true. For instance, we have James Patterson's new one. This one has not been read by a patron yet. We get new things for the floating collection on a regular basis. So we're getting the bestsellers. We have the Crawdads. They're all checked out by floating patrons right now. I was looking for that to bring today. That's the #1 book right now, where the Crawdads sing. We have Ellen Hildebrand's new one, but we also bring movies. And like I said, we have a room of things at the library. If you've seen it, it's a little room across from the circulation desk where you can check out a variety of non-traditional things, like a power washer, like board games, like a Blu-ray player if you want to try to watch a movie in a Blu-ray format. There's also things like wireless hotspots, so you can bring the internet with you somewhere. So maybe you don't have internet where you live, or you're going on a vacation, especially camping trips, they're very popular. You can check out a little device that lets you get wireless internet for free.
Good morning. How are you?
So definitely check that out the next time you're in the library. Does anyone have any questions about the delivery service? Yes.
Can I just ask,
Sure.
do you, if you'd like to volunteer as a reader,
Yes.
do you have a list of people that will do that?
Sure, thank you. That's a great question. Volunteer readers. So right now we're starting this program slowly, and then we are thinking if it takes off, we're going to look to the public for patrons who might want to read as well. The first readers are people who are like the heads of town departments. So that they've been extended an invitation, and if that works out well, we might start looking more. The children's librarian, she cultivates a great floating collection. She does story time once a month. Her name is Hannah Gavalis. She is so exceptional about choosing books that meet kind of where they're at, what the ages of these kids are. So we're hoping at one point in the near future to get a volunteer reader group together that can work with Hannah to pick books out that are perfect for the age group of the kids at the facility. But thank you, that's a great question.
No, I would like to.
Oh, you'd like to? So when that happens, I will make sure I send information over to this building about that.
Keep me in mind.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you.
Also, I'd like to tell you about a book. It's called The One and Only Ivan.
Okay. Yes, I've heard of it. Yes.
Oh.
The gorilla. Yeah. Yeah.
It's, I guess there's been a couple children that my girlfriend gave it to me, and her granddaughter told her, she said, oh yeah, they read us that in school.
Yeah.
Anyway, she had picked it up and she gave it to me. It was, I loved it.
Love it. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. So yeah, no, that's on a lot of the lists for like either required reading or recommended reading for that age group. So that's great. And that's what's really neat about those different books. You can find things in the children's room that are great for any age, and that's one of them for sure.
Well, yeah, I went down to Chapman's to get my own copy, and they had it on the table.
Yeah, yeah. I know. So don't be turned away if you see it say children's or teen. Some of those books are exceptional for all ages. Yeah.
Just one.
Oh, great, great. I love the shout out. Yes.
Do you have a program where children reading with the puppies can go to the library and read to your dog?
We don't have that currently. I don't believe.
We
right?
are exploring,
Yeah.
we're actually in the process of setting that up for the spring. We're trying to get it back in with a group. There was somebody at Tufts who ran it, and then they stopped for a while. So we're getting back into that and trying to find the right mix of people and pets and situation to make sure that it's safe and great for our patrons. But yeah, that was so popular, and it's such a great program.
My dog will volunteer.
Oh, great.
Okay, we're gonna come out with like criteria, and we're not exactly sure like whether they're going to need to be therapy dogs or if we're going to open it up and have people their dogs tested to make sure that they're agreeable.
There's actually a certification element for the dog.
Yeah.
You can make sure they're good mannered and not gonna, because with little kids jumping on top of them, they need to be super calm and super nice.
Yeah, but it is a wonderful program, and we're really hoping to bring it back soon. On the idea of volunteering, we have a friends group at the library. So if you're ever interested in volunteering, we run several book sales in the fall. We also have donations that come in that may need to be sorted. If that's something that you're interested in, being a friend, You can contact the library or go on the website and get more information. They just had a meeting last night, but you can join at any time, and they're always looking for people to help out.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you for listening to us this morning. Thank you, Chief, for having us. And like I said, these items are up for grabs. So if you're looking for something to read, these items do not have due dates. You do not have to sign them out. They're part of what we call the floating collection. When you're done, you can just bring them back to the library or give us a call and we'll pick them up for you. So thank you. Make sure you take one of these sheets. If you didn't get these, one of these sheets, we have plenty up here. I tried to pass them around, but I was trying not to be super disruptive. So if you didn't get it, we have some up here for you. But thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
I'd like to thank them for coming out, and I am a card-carrying member of the library. Basically, I want to thank you for coming out again. A couple things in closing. Don't forget, town meeting is Monday the 21st, so come out and support your town. The police department doesn't have anything on that warrant. I think I explained last time I was going to go for some uniforms, dress uniforms. However, someone who had passed away left a large sum of money to the police department, and we're utilizing those funds, so we're not using tax dollars. That's nice to have. In closing, just say, if you notice, I have a pink patch on my shoulders. This is for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so remind everyone to get checked, and also that if you're interested, contact Lieutenant McLeod for a suggested donation, and we give that money back to our cancer organization. So, with that being said, next month, I'm hoping to have Mark here, and then take it from there. And again, if you have anything that you wanted to see, hear about, anything like that, please contact me and I'll facilitate that speech. Yes.
Yes, town meeting. Anyone that has some hearing problems, can't understand what's going on, go to the sound booth, and I've been working with them. And they have some headphones that you can put on, because at town meeting, I can't understand hardly anything. At home, when it's on the TV, it comes in clear as a bell. So I went to the sound booth and they have hearing devices that you can use, and they work fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for bringing that up. And also, there's going to be the check-in is going to be a little different. When you get your voter, that device, press yes or no. The clerk's office is going to be doing it now, so just to make sure, because it's not going to be actually like that number assigned to you, so if you take it home, they can call you and say, hey, you took it home by mistake. Just make sure when you check out that you really hand it off to them, because they don't have that capability anymore. And for them doing it, it's a huge cost savings to the taxpayer. Yes.
Just want to also mention the senior center will have the minibus out to take people to town meeting if we get enough people to do that. So if you want to ride to the town meeting, sign up at the office, and if we have enough people, we'll get the bus out.
I think that's fantastic. That's a great
And
service.
I think we have one more announcement.
And I just, since we have everyone sitting here, I just want to remind everybody, Spooky Supper, Tuesday, October 29th at 5 o'clock. It's really not that scary, but it is a lot of fun. We encourage everybody to wear costumes. It's so much fun to see people coming in with things that you never thought that you'd wear. We have a catered meal that night. We're having chicken cordon bleu, monster mashed potatoes, creepy carrots, and some great dessert. So hope you can come. It's $8. It's a great buy. Anybody that comes in costume will get entered into a raffle for some prizes. So hope to see you there. Thank you, Chief.
Yes.
Quick question. I was told, and I'm not sure if this is true, that if you use like the CBD oil, does that trigger the dog?
I'd have to ask, but I'm going to say no, and I'll explain to you offline why. I don't want to put that out over So it's all good. But anyway, thanks again for coming. I will see you next month. I'm sure I'll see you before then. Yes.
Yes, Chief, I'd like to remind everybody sitting here that we have a fair coming November 23rd. It's a Saturday. And the crafters and the workers are busy, busy, busy. And we hope that you'll all join us today at the
And
fair,
it's here?
right
Sounds
here.
great.
And Bobby, Sylvester, and Guido will be in the kitchen making awesome luncheon for us. Start with coffee and donuts. And phones are going to ring, and this includes the gentlemen here too, for baked goods. If you can't bake, make a donation. We'll gladly accept anything because what you give in a donation to this fair comes back to you 100 times over in programs such as this, in pancake breakfast, in all of these things that we can offer to people. So, gentlemen, when they call and say, can you bake? Think about it. Make a donation.
What's the date again?
November 23rd.
Thank you.
Do you need any more baskets?
Yes. We don't need really small ones, but you know, good size.
Big ones.
Absolutely, just drop them off.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, awesome. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it.
One last thing, there's a shredding day coming up, next Monday, is it, I think?
A week from Monday.
First, 10 to 2, both shredding and you take medicine, all that,
Yeah, we'll be here. Yeah, thank you for promoting that.